Good afternoon. This is a meeting of the Grace County Commission, December 21st, 2023. Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll proceed to roll call. Josh.
Here.
Rod Zorn.
Here.
Scott Tranby. Absent. Stephanie Edlund.
Here.
John Wakefield. Present. Let's have a look at the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion by Edlund to approve the agenda as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Avriel. Any discussion on the agenda? Barring no discussion, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor of approving the agenda signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Agenda approved. Look at the December 7th meeting minutes. Speak up if you have any changes to the content or as they're presented. When you're ready, we'll need a motion to accept the minutes and dispense with the reading, along with any other recommendations.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Avriel to accept the December 7th meeting minutes and disperse with the reading. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Edlund. Any discussion? Barring no discussion, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. November 7th meeting minutes approved. Have a look at the bills.
There is three in here. One for Michael Beaver for 1,000, one for Tyler Rispa for 1,000, and one for Robert Hook for 5,000. And those are coming out of the Back the Blue funds. There is $11,445.92 in there. Jamie, you might have to talk about those funds to back the blues. What those were.
Back the Blue was something the legislature done last legislative session in 2023. The purpose of Back the Blue is for retention, recruitment, and for education or for training.
So it's just money for them to do that?
Yeah, it's so what Nelson County has done, I guess I can talk about that, was it's retention. They've given deputies retention bonus with the requirement that they sign a 2-year commitment to the county.
So it looks like we've given $1,000 bonus to the 2 deputies. That would qualify as recruitment, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would guess so.
Yeah. Which brings us to the $5,000 bonus for the sheriff. What would qualify under retention and recruitment? What would qualify that?
I don't know. That'd be easy to say. But I mean, it's pretty clear what it's for. It's for recruitment, retention, and training. Actually, that's what the governor's press release, when it came out, that's what the governor's press release said.
And does it have a date it has to be spent by?
2025 or the end of 2024.
So we could use this on an ongoing basis. Obviously, we have another deputy budgeted in the 2024 budget.
I guess I guess I can speak of, again, what Nelson County did was they used it for a retention bonus for employees. The sheriff up there didn't take one and put the money that he would have potentially received into the training funds of the county.
And they used it for how much was their sign-on bonus?
Well, it wasn't a sign-on bonus, it was retention bonus for everybody that's there. It was like $3,500 an officer.
And they signed a contract saying that they receive this for that, and if they
They
leave early, it goes
They
back.
leave early, they have to pay back on a prorated basis.
So we could use that money then if we were to hire another sheriff, or excuse me, another deputy. It would be used again as another sign-on bonus as well.
I mean, I think I think what the sheriff, and I didn't actually have anything to do with what the sheriff did up there, but I think that's the appropriate thing to do. You guys offer sign-on bonuses, don't you, Steph?
No,
Oh, you don't?
no, not anymore, but we have in the past.
Okay. And how did that work? Was that just a lump sum?
You know, honestly, ours was a payout that they come with us and they don't receive it until after a year. After 6 months, I give you some. After a year, you get a dollar amount. And then after a year, you get a dollar amount. And we paid it out over like 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, but other facilities paid it out sooner just because they're that desperate. And it was, I mean, it's kind of a...
So the total in that fund before this started was $11,445. Obviously, the $1,000 per deputy is warranted, no matter how you do it, retention or recruitment. For the life of me, I don't understand what a $5,000 bonus to a sheriff is leaving midterm, how that fits the guidelines of that black and blue grant. Obviously, there wasn't any recruitment. He ran for sheriff willingly in an open election, and we're not retaining him. He's leaving prior to the completion of his term. So,
I think the right thing to do would be to talk to Bob about it. And
Yeah,
bring him
I
in and
understand.
talk to him about it, but
but shouldn't we have a contract for the deputies also? I mean, shouldn't we say?
Yeah, it's up to you whether you
Right.
want to or not. If you just want to be like, hey, thank you for coming, here's $1,000. That's my,
I agree.
I mean, you
I
don't...
think if there's any more, I don't know, $1,000, but I mean, these guys are picking their families up, and to be 100% honest with you, for these guys to pick their families up and move,
It's a lot.
Mhm.
$1,000 isn't going to cover that. If they want to sign a contract for a couple $1,000 or something, I mean, I think that would be appropriate. I think that actually $1,000, that's not even going to cover their moving expenses, to be honest with you.
So what I would like to see done is that $5,000 moved over to a retention bonus for these 3 deputies that we're going to have. We're going to have to hire another one. So we want to split that $11,000 3 ways in order to be able to recruit and retain. So in that instance, these deputies would get another $2,000, and the next deputy recruit would get $1,000 plus the $2,000. I see no reason whatsoever unless Bob can. I don't understand how this fits him.
We do scholarships at work where we have them sign on for 3 years and I pay their schooling, and then it be prorated, you know, for how many hours they work or for how long they've worked.
No,
So if they do leave early, they would give us some back, you know,
Yeah.
but
no, I'm all for that.
Have you guys all sign in, please?
I'm all for that, but I'm not for the. So Bob, we're talking about the $5,000 bonus that you gave.
The what?
The $5,000 bonus you gave yourself.
Yep.
I don't know a lot about this. I looked at the black and blue grant, and it was for recruitment and retention. I understand the bonuses to the deputies. I think they should probably have a retention bonus also.
Yep.
For the life of me, I don't understand how you justified $5,000 to yourself. We're not retaining you. You're leaving midterm. We didn't recruit you. You came here and ran for election.
Yep.
I don't see how you fit the terms.
Certified peace officer. Part of that money I'm gonna give to Annie.
I don't. That certainly doesn't fit the terms of the.
No, that's not it. I'm gonna give it to her. I'm entitled to that money just like everybody else is. The sheriff in Nelson County took it, the sheriff in Grand Forks took it, the sheriff all over have taken it.
I don't know that. I don't see how it fits the terms of the.
The guidance on it is it's the sole discretion of the sheriff and the chief. Sole discretion. It's black and white.
And you feel comfortable giving yourself $5,000?
I'm not giving myself $5,000 raise. So,
Robert Hook,
yeah.
$5,000,
Right.
black and
And
blue
I
express.
just explained it, and it's right there in black and white. Yep.
So then why don't you tell us how much you're going to give Annie? And then I don't know if the commission has a say in this or not, but I can't believe the citizens will be on board with this, Bob. I'm just stating a fact.
Yep.
I don't know for sure, but I just.
I can tell you,
I
the
don't-
ones I talked about, they think it's a good deal.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Anyway, I don't think it's a good deal, and I'm voicing my opinion on it.
Yep.
And you voice your side of it,
Okay?
and then we'll go from there. But I still don't know if the commission is excluded from some part of this decision, because it is county funds. And
This is not
ultimate-
county funds. The county in this particular situation is a pass-through. It's like a grant pass-through.
You sent us that
Yeah.
grant info.
Yeah, Sam did
Do
actually.
you remember what date that was? I was trying to pull that up because I wanted to read that letter again. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I mean, is that something where we do have a say or we don't have a say? I just want to make sure, I just want to make sure that it's. Do you know what date?
That had to be in Octoberish.
Okay.
I sent it to you November 17th.
November 17th. November 15th? 17th.
17th. Did you find it?
It's loaded. Yeah,
Oh.
I think so.
Because I can forward it again if you want.
Yeah, will you?
So to move things along, let's set that aside. Approve the bills as we
Can I-
have in front of them. It'll be up to you to make the
Oh, here
amendment.
it is.
I
Found
think,
it.
yeah, well, I mean, we need to have the state's attorney look at it too.
Can I have you guys, also, I missed it, GovernSoft for the $13,990. Can we put that aside? That should go into your next year's,
Yes, should.
be taken out of next year's budget, so,
Oh, remove it?
yes, please.
So on the record, I'm in favor of giving the deputies treating this as a sign-on bonus. I think we should work up something where they have a retention bonus too. I think we should leave some money aside from the $11,000 to recruit and retain another deputy. And I'm not in favor of Bob getting anything. He doesn't qualify. The sheriffs that took the money, Bob, I would assume they're not leaving in 10 days. I assume they're staying in their position, and that would be the retention
I
part
know
of
a
it.
couple aren't, and then the money's good till 2025, so you have recruitment money in there.
And
going
that's,
forward.
and that's what we need, is to be able to recruit and retain,
Yep.
and I don't see how that fits your position. Anyway.
If we were to give the money to Bob and we don't have, where would we get the money for the third deputy then? That would be my next question.
There's still money in there, Rod.
Oh,
There's like 11,000 some dollars.
So the email actually from the Association of Counties, as a reminder, the funds are for police chiefs and sheriffs to decide the best way to use the funds for recruitment and retention within their law enforcement agency. The chief or sheriff should bring their plan to their governing boards for consideration and for the governing board to appropriate the funds.
All bills are that way.
So, yeah, so that pretty well settles this. Let's table this whole issue until we can put together a set of rules. Again, I'm in favor of using it for recruitment and retention, and let's put it in writing so we know how it goes and move forward with it. It's pretty straightforward who gets to appropriate the money.
The sheriff's office does. The
Yeah.
sheriff gets to decide where the money goes.
Please read that again, Jamie.
The sheriff's office and the chief of police get to decide where the money goes, period. The county looks at the plan with sheriff and they approve the funds. It's passed through dollars. It's not taxpayer appropriation. And that's period. This has been played out all around, every county around us has gone through this. The sheriffs have got money in every county. So, that's on record, so we can move on.
I'm gonna read that to us
Oh,
again.
yeah. As a reminder, the funds are for police chiefs and sheriffs to decide the best way to use the funds for recruitment and retention within their law enforcement agency. The chief or sheriff should bring their plan to their governing boards for consideration and for the governing board to appropriate the funds.
There we go.
That's from an email that Samantha
I
sent.
don't think there's any wiggle room on that. The governing board shall appropriate the funds. So we will sit down, decide where the funds will be appropriated, and then you get to distribute them. Is how that works, Bob? Pretty straightforward.
So, there's a breakdown actually of in that email. Based on the $750,000 for agencies with less than 10 officers, agencies with 10 or less officers as of June 1st, 2023 received $2,885 per officer. Agencies with more than 10 officers as of June 1st, 2023 received $1,419 per officer.
So we'll have to put together some guidelines that fit how the money was supposed to be used and then distribute it. So what does everyone do in approval of the bills here?
One of the things that I guess if Bob was going to commit some of that money to Annie, which I think she's deserving of, she's helped the sheriff's department and gotten called at 1:30 in the morning, and if that's the case, I don't see why she's been a part-time office deputy for the sheriff's department. I don't see why some of that money can't go just directly to her.
Can't go directly to her. It just can't. It's gotta go through a certified law enforcement officer. I called and asked that question of the program director.
Obviously, we don't know all the condition and terms of this, and we're not gonna figure them out on a split, right now. So let's schedule this for a later time. Let's gather all the facts, and then let's have the discussion and make the decisions.
So we need a motion to
Approve it.
table this and then approve the bills with this tabled.
And then that other thing you wanted to take out too, right?
Dakota, the Dakota programs. I'm sorry, I scratched it off. What does it say?
Yeah, so first of all,
Comes up.
is everybody in agreement that the deputies are deserving of something probably more than what's here? Okay,
Yes.
okay, so then we can approve the $1,000 per deputy, and we can then commit to putting this whole plan into place with additional monies going to not only the deputies, but a future deputy, and we can divvy up the money and see how it's going to be spent. But as far as just goes today, all we would do, the only thing in question as far as I'm concerned is the $5,000. We would remove that, approve the budget as put forward with the exception of the money to govern soft, the $13,000. Now, if somebody thinks that should be a motion, then so be it. If not, then we'll have to figure out a new way to do this. But Eventually,
I'll
eventually we're gonna have to vote on something, people.
I'll make that motion if we can table that for now, or table the 5,000, give the deputies their 1,000. Let's find out more information on the $5,000 and bring that back.
And you
And
want
and
the-
deleting the govern soft.
Yes.
Yep, and delete the govern soft. So where's the govern soft?
Up there at the top here.
For 10,000?
14. This one.
Or just table it until the first meeting of January or whatever, right? The governance act.
So we have a motion on the table to approve the bills as presented, with the exception of a $5,000 check to Bob Hook and a $13,990 check to GovernSoft. As the check to Bob Hook, the whole black and blue grant will be looked at the next meeting, put on the agenda, and the GovernSoft bill will be put on to the bills to be paid at after the first of the year, the first meeting after the first of the year. That motion was made by Zorn. Is there a second?
No second.
Second by Averill. This is concerning money. We'll move on to a roll call vote. Averill.
Aye.
Zorn.
Aye.
Edlund.
Aye.
Wakefield votes aye. Motion moved forward. Jamie, you'll get with Bob and get together and get something set up so we have a plan to this. Okay, very good. Well, Bob, you took up 2 spaces. Now you're up for the update.
I took these spaces.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to do Mike Beaver
Hello, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
and Tyler Rispa.
Hello, Tyler.
Tyler.
Mike come to us from Wells County.
Yep.
We tried this before, that day didn't go very good, the meeting. Mike is just shy of 10 years in law enforcement. He started work on the 12th of December. I'd have to say at this point, it's been unbelievably positive.
December 12th.
He's moved things forward with technology. He's updated some things that had dropped off to the wayside since I left the first time, and has done a tremendous job in these first 10 days he's been here. Tyler comes to us from Bismarck, got a background in juvenile corrections, and he's both were certified military police officers. Tyler is still active in the military police officer, and he'll be going to training January 10th for 3 weeks, and then his fully licensed. Test will be done in April, and he'll be able to work that entire time. And just to move on to the next topic, I guess I would really encourage the commission to consider, and I would endorse Mike Beaver as the next sheriff for Griggs County. He's from here, he wants to be here. The people in Binford have embraced him, people in Cookstown have embraced him. I've gotten cold calls from residents that have met with him and dealt with him, business owners, and they're, I guess for lack of a better term, quite impressed with how things have gone there so far.
Would this be like the same event, like when Amberly left and then you took
Yeah.
the position?
Yeah,
You filled the position and then it was like the election year, so then
Yeah.
it just went on the election?
It'll go on the ballot, yep, as an unexpired.
It'll
two-year
go on
term.
this 2024 ballot for.
Okay, so more or less it's just like we did, we just
yeah.
elected you to take over the position and then
Correct.
you ran in the next election.
A little different. So Amber's term was up.
Oh.
So when Bob ran for the term, then he ran for the full 4-year term. In this instance, they would be running to finish out Bob's term. It would be a 2-year term, and then have to run again. Or if a special election was called for, you call for a special election, which would get you to the November election, which would then get you for 2-year terms. So you could actually run 3 times within a year and a half.
So can you run? You would just run this. I don't know what elections really like. Do you run the election? We call it a special election. It runs with the current election upcoming, or do you have to have something
no.
completely
A special
separate?
election would be like we say, okay, we're gonna have a special election. We instruct the auditor, and the minimum time is 65 days, and you can't have a special election within a year of the scheduled election, so I don't think a special election is even allowed here, correct?
Oh,
Correct, my understanding.
Yeah,
okay,
And I'll say, when I took over the very first time,
yeah.
I think I went 2 3/4 years before the election.
yeah,
Oh, because it was just appointed.
Yeah, I just finished out Hendrickson's term, it was over 2 years.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
In this instance, we would be able to have an election in November, next November, to pick the sheriff. So the appointment would be for a year. And then we'd have an election that would finish out Bob's term. And then from there it would be back on the 4 years.
Basically, 2 elections in 1 term.
What's that?
2 elections in 1 term, but we're just appointing them ahead. So we have a sheriff.
How
Yeah.
expensive is a special election?
I don't know. I've never done one, but just like numbers from the last election, it was about $4 and something per vote with
Which-
all of the expenses. But I mean, we wouldn't have all those obviously, but I don't know how much.
So
Okay.
I would imagine there on a special election like this, the turnout, if you're gonna have 400 people, probably. So under that, you know, the price per vote is gonna go up. The less amount of people you have, the price per vote is going, because there's infrastructure. So I would say realistically, if you said $3,000 to run a special election, it would cover it. Is that a fair assumption?
Probably.
Yeah.
And Mike and I've talked about this, he's fully aware that this is a short-term appointment town election, it's only fair to have the citizens elect their sheriff at some point. sooner than
Yeah,
later.
this is nothing,
Okay.
This
This
isn't
isn't making
The
any,
next election.
this isn't making any assumptions about anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is giving the people the chance to make the decision. And that's, I mean, you could have Superman in the position and you still
Exactly.
have to give
Exactly.
the people the chance to make the choice.
And I'm not, I'm assuming you understand that, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
So I probably should speak up. We might have a problem with residency for at least a period of time because you just go to the county and the sheriff has to be an elector in the county, so they have to live in the county for 30 days.
Yep.
Yeah. December 1st is actually when I moved over, so I updated my residency then on December 1st.
Okay. And the other thing is, was as I read it, that's correct. The other thing is, we can't appoint a sheriff until we have a vacancy.
Correct.
Yeah, so we can't do it today because you're still here.
When's your last day again?
31st.
Yeah, and we can't make a temporary appointment on the assumption that you're leaving because
Right.
we can't force you to leave. You're
The
an
law
elected
doesn't allow
official.
for a temporary appointment of sheriff.
You might get to the first and say,
Okay.
nah, I don't think so. I'm staying.
And to be honest, I mean, if there's a trip up here, I'll hang out a few more days to get us to a point where we need to be.
So that's,
So
so the
Or
choices.
I guess if you want to settle it today, I would be willing to take a demotion to chief deputy until the 1st and then walk away,
But-
whatever works, whatever's best for the county.
Like he was saying,
Oh.
I think we should wait till the 1st, because like you said, then he'll get his full 30 days.
Yep.
And then you'll fill out your time
Yep,
period
makes
of what
sense.
you're talking.
Is our meeting in January the 4th then?
We haven't got there
I
yet.
haven't got there yet.
Oh, yeah, true. But.
We're approving that.
Oh, yeah. I got that for you. Okay.
So the options are, to think about it now, if we're just gonna put this off until, the options are you can appoint for the duration of Bob's term.
Okay,
You can appoint until the next scheduled countywide election, at which time he would run for the remainder of Bob's term. Or if it's a year, you can't use a special election. If it's 6 months, you could have a special election. You could appoint, have a special election. A special election would install the sheriff until the next scheduled election, which is in November. At that time, he would finish out Bob's term.
Correct.
Complicated.
I can tell you one thing, in all my years in this business, anyone that I've ever known that's been appointed sheriff, it was finished out the full term of the sheriff that was leaving. So I know that has been the case, almost standard.
just to finish term.
Yeah, but we have the
Yeah,
opportunity
you
to
do.
let the citizens make the choice. And-
Yeah,
and-
which
and
is good.
The sheriff should feel better about that. Everybody should feel
Yeah.
better about that.
Yeah.
So that's what we have to decide come when we make the decision. So everybody can be thinking about that.
since word's been out that I'm leaving, though I'd say the number one thing that I've been asked is, they're looking for some stability now, some long-term, get us at a point where this is leveled out and they can just, everybody go about their business and the sheriff's instilled. So I think you get that election next November and that should take care of that.
So, right, so the other question that arises, and are there any other candidates that could be qualified to be appointed? I mean, that's always the question the public asks, did you look at everybody? Well, yeah, we've looked at everybody that we know of. Are we under an obligation to advertise? I don't know that. I don't believe so. But those are always, to cover all bases, that's kind of the way things need to be done.
Right now, the county, there's, I think, anyone that's got law enforcement experience that would be eligible to be appointed as sheriff and, instantly would be probably, Mike being a resident and maybe Dalton Hassel, and he got out of law enforcement. I don't know anybody else in the county that's has got any background.
So the rules apply that you have to be a qualified sheriff in order to be appointed, or is it the same rules?
No.
No, you don't. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, we have tried for the last 4 months. I have reached out to every young person, middle-aged person that I thought had any interest in being in law enforcement. Had 2 takers and they both backed out. They both would have been good, but they just decided it wasn't for them. I think that was probably a discussion at the supper table, and they just decided.
Yeah.
I've tried. I mean, I really tried. I want to get some local people here, but
So
no one has stepped up.
You can only do so much.
So
And that's the thing. I mean, if nobody, it's a big responsibility, is what it is. It's really tough for somebody to step up and do that.
So we're just we don't need a motion to put this off because we don't have a date to put it off to. We'll have to put it by here and see how it fits Bob's schedule, if it's the 1st or if it's the 3rd or if it's the
We could push it up to the
29th.
first meeting.
Well, I'm not gonna, if you guys can't meet until the 4th or the 5th or
Right.
something, I'm not gonna just walk away and let the place hang. I mean, my roots are
Okay.
here.
So we'll leave it open. Bob will tell Jamie or Samantha, and we'll set up a meeting if it's a special meeting, we'll do a special meeting. That's fine.
Do we know when that next meeting is?
You will
Not yet.
shortly.
We
Okay,
will.
I'll just shut up then. But I just want to welcome these guys here. People are not rushing to this profession,
No,
and
it's
it's interesting.
unfortunately, things have turned.
Our only local regional that's fully staffed right now is Finley. Everybody else is down 1 to 2,
Yeah.
and no applicants.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you guys, and we'll move this forward. Jamie, you don't have anything else on that? You'll instruct, I'm sure, the commission on what our options are and how we have to go about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Tax director position.
So I worked with Mr. Averill and Jamie on this ad to go into the paper, if you guys are okay with it.
Yeah, it looks good to me, other than the county's accepting bids for contract work. We can't accept bid for contract work because we haven't defined the work to be done with the contract. I don't think. Have you?
No.
No. Okay.
Maybe you can just put the county would be open to discussing contract employment. Maybe we don't want to put that in the first ad because it's kind of a turn off for everybody that could be applying for it too.
I agree.
Should we just take the contract employment out and then just do the regular ad? And
Yep.
then if we don't get any hits, then maybe open it up to contract then?
We have to write a contract first.
You know-
You can't ask for a contract and let the public provide you.
No,
with the
but that's what I'm
When
saying.
There was,
We'll open it up the way it
Yep.
is without the contract, and if we don't have any hits, then we'll
I agree,
discuss
then we'll
it.
discuss
Discuss
it
the
then. Yep.
contract.
Yep.
there was also talk, do we want to put in here, I know that we haven't got there yet, it's the next item, but, this person has to pass a background check.
No, because that's just
terms
Okay.
of employment.
That's pretty typical.
Yeah, background check, drug, I mean, that's just, yeah,
Can't show up smoking a joint.
eat your gummies.
That's questionable
That's right.
nowadays.
Huh?
That's questionable nowadays.
That's true. That's true. I think it's that. So, is that a motion that we delete the counties also accepting bid app for contract work and direct the auditor to put this ad in the appropriate publications?
Yeah, basically, motion to accept the ad except for the elimination of the contract.
I'll second.
We have a motion to accept the ad for employment with the deletion of the county accepting contract work proposals. And we direct the auditor to,
Just in our paper?
well,
Try to put it as far as you can get it.
I think like Steel County or something like that too, probably. And I don't know from there. Is there?
Okay, so do Facebook,
We're
our
direct- yeah.
website,
County Association website.
Yeah, that's.
try and, okay.
we have a motion on the table to to accept the ad as presented with the elimination of the county accepting bids for contract work and direct the auditor to advertise in appropriate publications. Is there a second to that?
That was me.
Second to Edlund. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Ad approved. Background checks. Jamie, Bob, who's telling us about that?
I added a background
Yep,
policy.
I saw it.
I guess really I was just looking for approval from you guys to see if we can start.
Bob, you look it over?
I know I haven't seen it,
No.
but, I mean, it's pretty standard stuff. Are you looking at doing third party or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't release information.
No, I mean just as a,
I think it's a no-brainer
okay,
in this day and age.
okay.
This was, majority of it was plagiarized from another county.
Put quotation marks and,
No.
oh,
No. I had permission.
I approve the background check policy.
we have a motion by Edlund to approve the background check policy. Is there
I'll
a
second that.
Second by Zorn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Background checks in place. 2024 regular meeting schedule.
I'll get with Sam and we'll have to figure out who we're going to use for an agency to do the background checks.
Page 17.
I don't think so, just the background policy.
Oh.
I don't know if that was.
I can send you the company that we use, so you can
Okay.
check prices of,
Because yours was in here.
no, that's a policy, but the company that we use. I think it's a pretty fair pricing.
And I think the pricing is probably gonna be from 100 or 50 to 100 bucks. I think that's pretty standard for everyone.
Yeah. But if you're curious for one, just let me know. I can get it for you.
Your 2024 meeting schedule, page 17. At the last meeting, you guys did it for Mondays at 8:30. When going through the calendar, there was a few that kind of was hard. The one was, I think, in February.
A lot of holidays.
Landed on a holiday, and so you're going to have a meeting, and then the very next week you'll have a meeting. But I mean, that is what it is. And then the last meeting in December, I just put you on the 30th so that then we can hopefully get that special meeting out of line too, and we don't have to have a special meeting. I am going to ask that you please reconsider the time. 8:30, that is asking a lot of my office to do, especially on a Monday. That does not give me time to look over my emails. That does not give me time to do basically anything. I mean, you guys are set in place that it's going to be set up on, Thursday or Friday, and that is what it is. I don't feel that I would run very smoothly having it that early. If 9:30 doesn't work for Jamie, can we make it 10 o'clock? I'm just really hoping that we can make something else work and not 8:30.
What's the earliest nowadays?
The earlier the better. I have bond hearings usually if someone's in jail at 1 or 1:30 those days, so the earlier the better for me. So whatever time works for everybody.
I'm good with 9:30. I'm good with either.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I want to work with Sam on this too. How about you, Rod? What do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, if she needs more time, whatever works. I mean, Jamie and Sam probably have more going on. But if not, yeah, later, a little bit later is fine.
As long as we're free by, I'm free by 1:30 to do bond hearings, I really don't care.
9:30 then? You good with 9:30?
I'm going to point out the obvious.
Okay.
I just let everyone state their reasons. Everybody said I like this, I like this, I like this. May I remind every one of us that the schedule doesn't revolve around us. It revolves around the citizens of Griggs County. Whatever is best for the citizens of Griggs County is what we should be doing. Our schedule should not be entered into this. I've said forever that these meetings should be after business hours on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to give the citizens a chance to attend. Because we have a personal conflict with it, and then we want the meeting date to meet our schedule, is ridiculous. We're public servants. And it's gone over and over and over again. Decisions of this commission are based on our own personal decisions and what makes it life better for us, and that is ridiculous. We got to get back to who we are working for. I think we should have it at 6 o'clock on either a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Let the citizens attend. Let everybody else is off work, we're off work, and move forward that way. Let's try to involve everybody in this thing rather than try to tailor it to meet our needs.
Well, I've mentioned it before to do it after business hours, but I know last year you said keep it during business hours.
Because we could never get it to a point where anybody would go after business hours. It's always been the most we got to was Thursday at 2:30 with the other group also. I said,
well, I mean, I'm good for 6 o'clock. I'm good at 6 o'clock at night. I'm okay with that. The only issue with that is I want to make sure everyone else is good because I want it to set a schedule where everybody can not just make it, but yes, works for the citizens, but I want to make sure everybody can come too. That's one of the reasons why I suggested Mondays or something like that, because it makes it easier for everybody to attend, not just 1 or 2 people.
The people that we should make it easier to attend are the citizens. This is their meeting, and they need to be here to supervise what we're doing. So if you or I or anybody else can't meet the schedule that's put forward to make it more beneficial to the citizens, then we probably shouldn't be commissioners. Well, and that's just the way it is.
I'm more for the 9:30 in the morning versus of 6 p.m. because there's things going on in the evening, sports, school, kids, whatever, life. So I'm good with 9:30, so I'll make a motion to change the meetings to Mondays at 9:30 a.m.
I'll second that.
We have a motion on the table by Edlund to change the meeting from 8:30 to 9:30 Mondays AMs.
And you're approving this
Yep.
schedule.
Yep.
Okay.
Second by Averill. I think we'll make this a roll call vote. The vote is to change the meetings to Monday at 9:30 a.m. on the schedule put forth before us. All in favor signify by saying aye, opposed nay. Averill.
Aye.
Zorn.
Aye.
Edlund.
Aye.
Wakefield votes nay. Meeting minutes approved. Oh, excuse me, meeting schedule approved. That'll get published now? On the website. Special year-end meeting.
So you guys always do a special meeting at the end of the year to pay the remainder of bills that didn't make it in today. I'm asking if you guys would, if we could make the 28th in the morning work, so that we can get those bills paid and then get books closed for the month so that everybody has the chance to look over their reports before we close for the year, if that works.
I
Do you have a time in mind?
I don't have a time, just
Monday, what'd you say, what
Okay.
date, 28th?
The 28th.
the 28th, that's Thursday, the 28th, so next Thursday.
At what time?
9:30, if that works.
I won't be here.
No.
Nope.
It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. Usually it's just pretty
Yeah.
quickly.
I think last year
Yeah.
I zoomed in. It took 2 seconds. It
Yeah. I don't even think you had the chance to zoom in before it was done.
was right.
Yeah, I'm good with that. So I'll make a motion for that.
So we will need a motion to schedule a special meeting for Thursday, the 28th of December. We have a motion by Zorn. Is there a second to that?
I'll second that.
Second by Avriel. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Special meeting approved for Thursday, the 28th at 9:30.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Crown appraisal.
You guys reviewed it at a previous meeting, but Scott would like me to just inform you guys that the township is still looking at it and they've received a copy. So I do have a copy here if you'd like to look at it.
No action required.
Okay.
Printer quote.
You at not the last meeting, but the meeting before, you guys asked me to go back and get a new quote on the printers for just doing my printer, and that is what I have in here for you.
That's just for the one printer?
That's just for mine, yep.
Excellent.
So if you guys wanted to do the lease or if you wanted to buy out.
Excuse me,
I'm a
what
lease
are the
girl,
numbers
so-
there?
So
Okay,
the
motion for
lease
that then.
for just my printer, a 60-month lease is $106 per month. Otherwise, if you'd like to buy it, it's $4,827. That's if you do the lease, it's a monthly savings of $23.74 with all of the maintenance costs that I've been getting. So
I make a motion for to lease the copier.
We have a motion by Edlin to lease 60-month, enter into a 60-month lease at $106 per month. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Second by Avriel. As this involves money, this will be a roll call vote. Aye in the affirmative, nay in the negative. Avriel,
Aye.
Rod, Zorn,
Aye.
Stephanie Edlund.
Aye.
Wakefield votes aye. Print away.
perfect.
2024 election precinct.
So this is
I don't know what
just
that means.
This is just, sorry, I forgot to do it in color. So I just need you guys to establish my election precincts by the 31st. And so this is just what we've used every year. And it's just your commissioner districts, your precincts. My precincts are my commissioner districts. And so makes it easy. And so they're all the same as we did for the redistricting in 2021?
Yeah.
We redistrict, yeah. And so it would stay the same. Sorry, this is your City of Cooper map, and
That's 2.
and your other map.
3 is the other side, and 5 then is the Hannaford one. Okay.
And so I just need
So moved.
just to
Motion by Edlin to approve the election precincts, 2024 election precincts as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Zorn. Any further discussion? Barring no discussion, Move on to the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Same sign. Precincts approved. Bank signature cards.
We do have a new employee, so I do need you guys to update the signature cards to include myself, Madison, Chelsea McMillan, and Bryce Trosted, please.
So move. Or does it need a motion?
hmm
Okay. A motion to approve the names said.
Because we're basically just giving them permission to sign stuff, right?
The checks and stuff. Yep. So we'll take off
Aaron.
Aaron. I'm like, oh my gosh. Aaron's name and then add Bryce's name.
Yeah.
So I got a question on that. I thought it was just the elected officials that had the ability to sign the checks and not the hired officials. As I read the century code.
I don't know without looking at it.
Yeah.
This is how we've always done it in
I
case
know
that.
that.
Yeah.
I've questioned it before but like a long time ago. But that was what the assumption that I was under.
How often have they signed?
Quite often.
Century code. Check signed.
It would be the only ones just you and Maddie then, if it was only elected officials.
So then no checks would be able to be signed or done if one of us was absent. So
I
I don't know.
You guys are making me work today.
What would it be under? Would it be under the treasurer or auditor, or would it be
either
under?
it would so the duties are defined. So
Duties of the auditor?
good. And it will say, and it doesn't mention the assistants. It just says the auditor, and it just says the treasurer. It doesn't say that.
Oh, they're deputies. That's your question.
Yeah.
Oh, should we have the deputies on there at all to sign for them?
Does the century code,
Oh.
is that allowed? That's always been my question.
So without finding it, I think yes, and the reason is that the deputies stand in place for the auditor when they're not
When they're
there.
absent. Yep,
Okay.
makes sense.
But I can see if I can find it quickly.
So then are all those are they all a deputy auditor or deputy treasurer?
Yeah.
Because I know the way it was solved before, and this was before your time, was there was a stamp.
Mm.
And that's how it came up. So there was just a stamp. So you could grab the stamp and I'm Sam and
I don't really know if I like that because I mean you could stamp more than just a check.
I want my stamp anyway. One signature stamp for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
So as long as it's okay.
motion stands. I guess I still support
Okay.
my motion.
Well, this is part of the discussion. So we
Yep.
have a motion by Edlin to approve the signature card signees as presented. Is there a second to that?
I'll second it.
Second by Avriel. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Signature card approved. Old courthouse, new courthouse.
I don't have anything.
Unless, the only other thing I could think of is just, I don't know if this is part of it, but the building and any updates on that, would never gonna come get that if it was
Oh, the little.
the shack.
They came and measured everything last week sometime, and so I don't really know where they're all at, but
I know Tranby's been in touch with them, but
Yep.
I just,
Yep.
since he's not here.
Future business.
I do have one other new building.
Oh,
It's really slippery in the back, and I don't want anybody to get hurt and us to be in a situation. So I don't know if we need to find someone to spread sand or salt, but it's like, and it might go away the next 2 days. But
Is that Brian's job?
We can
Mhm.
write it down in the book in the,
Yeah, I think that we
Is there a
should
big
keep
assault
track
back
of
there
that.
too? So if anybody walks in, kind of like in Annetta, it's like if you walk by the
Well,
door
it-
and you know it's there, you just
Well,
right
it's,
by the
it's
door.
not, I mean, it's the whole parking area.
Yep.
So, I mean,
Well,
They came
but
with the
it's
sand
It's
truck.
wintertime in North Dakota.
right.
You know, some things have to be accepted.
It's just a liability.
Yeah.
If somebody slips and falls, gets hurt, we're liable.
It's like going into a waterway in Louisiana and alligator eats you. It shouldn't have been in the waterway.
It's true.
But is there sand back there too? Just or is there a bucket of
There was.
salt back there? So
On the-
I
by
don't
the
use
door-
that door, so I'm not,
by
I
the
can't
back door.
say.
But you're gonna, somebody
I
will
think
tell
there
Brian.
is.
yeah,
I think
Yeah.
there's salt back there for sure.
yeah.
I mean, they can bring the payload up there and scrape it too, you know.
Well, they brought the sand truck or whatever into
Okay.
this parking lot.
Yeah. I mean, we can do what we can, but we can't make it perfect. I
Right.
mean, it
Right.
is
No,
North
I mean,
Dakota. Yeah.
don't expect it to be perfect, but it's not the same.
So we want to make an attempt.
Note to self: walk up there and throw the sand as far as you can,
There we go.
or your salt.
Okay. So we'll try to make it less slippery in the parking lot. Future business.
So I'll put the sheriff's office on the next meeting, and
The black and blue grant.
so that'll be under his, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not, yeah, it can be a sub item of that, yeah. Mhm. Anything?
Good. We don't have Traby here to make our motion for adjourning.
I mean, we gotta sit here?
I'll call him. No, I'll make that motion.
Yeah. Barring no future business, we'll need a motion to adjourn. Motion by Avriel to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Edlund. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned, 3:28. Next meeting in this room, 9:30, December 28th. Thank you all.